My friend, I have spent huge time hearing thousands of podcasts from world-renowned podcaster. Once when I thought that I really like this job and I felt kinds of inclination to this job. It is because I noticed that if you establish your career as a podcaster, then you get chance to sit with expert people to discuss their expertise, and that's why you can readily get expertized knowledge from the expert people you invited in your podcast show. So just to have this opportunity, I thought I should start my career as a professional level podcaster, and I considered a few people who really did their job very well. Mr. Joy Shetty, probably you know this guy as Indian origin, I think. He addressed himself as a monk. He used to spend time with monk, Buddhist monk probably. And whatever he learned from the monk community, he started sharing this knowledge with the peoples in the Western world, and such activities gave him popularity worldwide. It's now worldwide because people who really like to hear English talk, English podcast. I think almost all of them know this guy, Jay Shetty. And another person, I didn't really spend time hearing his talk, but he's also very, very, very popular. Even Mr. Trump and few others, United States president, former president, they also attended this guy's um, podcast, Mr. Joe Rogan. And it is said that Mr. Joe Rogan, self-made philosopher type person, and I think it is a very great job because when you really talk about different complex things, inviting expert people, it's really great things. So I thought if I really want to establish these types of room, these types of actually place for discussing complex things, interesting things, then I need to start my own podcast. And that's why I established my podcast by the name DeepMind Podcast, where I don't just invite expert people, I invite common people, conventional minded people as well. Because every single person would be the central character, would be the pivotal character, just because of his own identity. And if you look at Manik Bangabantai's um, s- probably novel Padranatri Machi, Kuber Machi, is also the very pivotal character of that novel. And such things actually inspired me to think about the nature of pivotal character. Every single person is a central character. If you give focus over that specific person, so I thought as I'm going to start my own podcast where I really want to develop a new environment, new uh, place for understanding different things. So I should invite people from different sphere, and I did that. I have invited many people from different sphere, and they talk. But you guys, I told you that I want to establish my own international level, international standard podcast studio, a podcast platform. It's difficult to have enough people who understand this language, who really like to speak this language. In this country, people really try to learn this language from very early stage, but the way they try to be fluent and confident speaker in English, that doesn't really work. They try to develop their fluency based on their grammar knowledge, or they intend themselves sometimes to memorize the whole grammar, no, whole English dictionary. And this is probably the most idiotic approach they take. I just say that if you really want to be an expert in social conversation, just keep focus over this word are socially used. There aren't enough words that are used in social conversation. So when you are very great user of this specific word, you'll be able to establish yourself as a very sound, very confident social conversant. I noticed that. However, this is not actually the subject topics of my talk. I was very interested to talk about my podcast. I told you that many people I considered to develop my understanding and my control over this language. Few people I really consider them as a very standard speaker. Oprah Winfrey from Oprah Show, Mel Robbins, and there are many others psychologists, clinical psychologists, whom I really consider because, you know, if you really uh, want to apply one stone two bird theory, then you should give focus over those speaker who really inclined to the field that you really prefer for yourself. So I try to consider clinical psychologist, one name I always uh, mention in my talk, Mr. Jordan Peterson. I'm mentioning this person name because I noticed he's a very, very academic person. He was a lot of academic words in his speaking. So people like me who didn't born and raised up in English speaking, they really struggle to cope up with this person talk. And that's why I put a condition there. I told myself, if you understand Mr. Peterson, you will understand almost all English speaker. Now, I understand Mr. Jordan Peterson and Huberman. He's a very fast speaker. I don't feel any problem to understand this guy. Another name, Katakasin. It's not actually a podcaster. He's also a podcaster as well because if you invite someone to discuss something and just upload this discussion in YouTube, it means that this is a kind of podcast video. But Mr. Kaltakasan is was a Fox News journalist. He's now working independently. He said that he was fired from Fox News, but he's now working independently, and he's a very prominent, influential journalist in Western world right now because he's very independent uh, effort. He is now speaking against the occupation of Israeli government over Gaza Strip. And he's also talking about the blind support of United States for Israel and such thing that really made him so popular. Currently, he's one of the most popular person as a journalist, as an explainer. I'm not so sure what should be the right designation for this person. I don't know. He would be considered as a podcaster. He'd be considered as a journalist. What is I really hear this person talk, not just because I want to know this person's philosophical view. No, of course not. Rather, he's a very tough speaker. He's a very, I think, ambassador of the local or Native American people. So if you understand Mr. Carl Taugerson, you'll obviously understand these people. So I consider Mr. Taugerson to measure my ability, how confident really I am to speak like native speaker, or how competent really I am to understand native speaker. Just to measure that, I consider Mr. Taugerson talk. Regularly hear Mr. Taugerson talk. Probably in the morning time when I hear from BBC or CNN. Sometimes I consider Fox News. At the same times I hear from Mr. Taugerson. I don't know why, but I hear. I like it. I like this job because I was in the master to measure my capability to cope up with this language. The language different vibe. This come from different places, from different sphere, from different community. I try to understand, and I really believe that the control I wanted to have over this language is very established. I know the pros and cons of this language. I know how to be a very great speaker of this language, and such control inspired me to emerge as a professional level speaker of this language. Now I speak, but I'm a little worried about the audience because people all who are connected with my Facebook social media platform don't understand this language. So if I share valuable information, they will not respond. It's actually the reality. But I know what is actually my target, what really I want to be. And that's why after not having enough response from the people, I'm continuing my effort, I'm speaking regularly, and I'm sharing my voice with the people. I hope once you'll feel interested, you'll feel kinds of inclination on my words I share with you, my friend. Till then, I'll wait for you. Thank you so much.